told me I should fight back. They don't like that. Just know if you rock the boat, you better have a life raft. Woo!
What up, everybody in the YTBC? So I'm going to go ahead and get into the topic of this video. Really, what I want to talk about is the current state of the heavyweight division and my thoughts on that state. So, the heavyweight division as a whole, I feel, is a very talented division and definitely has a lot of potential. Really, it's all about the right fights being made, and that can actually be said about pretty much every division. Anytime that we have a division that seems to be stale, it's due to the fact that the right fights are not being made. You got fighters ducking other fighters, you got promoters making up excuses, you got fighters making fights and then pulling out of those fights with what could be real or fake injuries. You name it, it happens. And every division to a degree is guilty of this. Some divisions more guilty than others. So it's definitely a problem in boxing as a whole. But I do think that the heavyweight division could be thriving more than it is right now, because really the life support of the heavyweight division is the anticipated Anthony Joshua versus Deontay Wilder fight. And I'm going to talk about that in just a moment. But before I get to that fight, I really want to talk about Tyson Fury. Now, I'm somebody who actually likes Tyson Fury. Going into the Klitschko fight, I picked him to win, and I wanted him to win. I think he's very entertaining. I think he's good for the heavyweight division. He's proven that he is not afraid to go to another heavyweights fight, and after the fight is done and over with, he's not afraid to get in the ring and get in the winner's face. That's something that Tyson Fury has proven. He's proven that in press conferences. He's willing to dress up like Batman and have somebody else dressed up as the Joker and make a big spectacle out of the press conference. He's a very entertaining guy, and he's funny. And not only that, but I think at his very heart, he's a kind soul. I mean, yeah, he talks a lot of shit, but that's all part of fighting. You know, this is the hurt game. These guys get in the ring to hurt each other, so I don't mind the trash talking that he does, and he's very good at it. I would say in the heavyweight division, he's the best at it. Even better than Deontay Wilder. Now, I do have some concerns about Tyson Fury. Now, as far as his fight with Safari, I don't really have a whole lot to think about it. My thoughts on that fight is, well, at least he's back. Because throughout 2017, there were many times where people were talking about the return of Tyson Fury, and time again, it just never happened. So I was very much in the attitude of, well, I won't believe it until I see it. So now I've seen that he has returned. There's not really a whole lot of credit you can give him for his opponent, but that's to be expected given his layoff. Okay? So I have no criticisms of his opponent in particular. Where my main concern comes in is what he did before he took the layoff. You know, he beat Klitschko, which I had no problems with that. It wasn't the most exciting fight, but I was on the edge of my seat because in today's day and age, we see robberies quite often. Now, it may not be as often as a lot of YouTube channels make it out to be, but it does happen quite frequently. And it's to the point where after watching a fight, I can't go off of who I think won, even if I'm fairly confident that it wasn't close. Because we've seen some of these ridiculous scorecards, and we've seen people get robbed, and we've seen losers be awarded a draw. We've seen all these things. So, that being said, you know, I was really anxious to see who the judges would actually pick. And they picked the right guy. But the problem is his actions afterwards. I do seem to remember that there was a lot of problems when they were negotiating the rematch. Then you had the issue with the IBF stripping Tyson Fury, which I really can't hold any criticism toward him. Even though I praised the IBF recently, I think that they're a bit too quick to strip somebody after they just won their title. It didn't take them very long to strip Tyson Fury or Terrence Crawford. So I can't blame Tyson Fury for just saying, you know what, screw your belt, go ahead and keep it, and I'll keep my money. So, no qualms with that decision. But when he vacated the other two titles, that really put the heavyweight division in a very strange place. Had that not happened, do you really think that Charles Martin would have ever become champion? At the time, it seemed feasible because Charles Martin was undefeated, but also a bit untested. Now we've seen him get tested and we know what the deal is. And I mean, no shade toward Charles Martin, but he just wasn't the heavyweight champion that he made himself out to be. So he vacates the other two belts. He gets busted, you know, for cocaine, and the heavyweight division was just put in a very strange place. And I'm not saying that people can't change, but it's another one of those things. I gotta see it to believe it. And there was just a lot of talk about Tyson Fury while he was off. Talks about his mental health. Talks about, you know, controversies with things he said about homosexuals and all that stuff. And it was just a really strange time, really, for Tyson Fury. He was talking about retiring completely. He was completely bipolar. And it's just that kind of behavior that makes me concerned for the heavyweight division, because if Tyson Fury is able to pull those belts away from Joshua or from Wilder before they meet, we could find ourselves in another position where he's either very inactive or he vacates, or, you know what I'm saying? And I'm really tired of getting so close to undisputed and then for a fighter to kind of derail that from happening. Not like Tyson Fury, but I'm a bigger fan of the sport of boxing. So I would much rather him just stay his ass out the ring if that's the kind of bullshit that he's going to bring to the sport. But like I said, I think that people can change. Maybe that was just a rough patch in his life, a bump in the road, and now he's back on track. That's the best that I can hope for. And then you have the rest of the heavyweight division, minus Wilder and Joshua, where it just seems like a lot of these fights they get talked about and they never get made, or they get canceled, and WBC can't make up their mind as to who the number one contender is, and you got these preliminary eliminators and then final eliminators, and you got fights being ordered, and the fighters are getting in negotiations, and then they're going with a completely different option that you didn't even see coming, a la White versus Parker, which I have no problem with that fight. I'm just saying, you get what I'm saying. It just seems so unstable in the heavyweight division. I know it's not specific to them, but it seems like right now that's what's happening a lot in the heavyweight division. You know, Pulev pulls out of a fight with Anthony Joshua and then gets mad at White because they were in talks to make a fight and White went with Parker. And I'm not in these negotiations, so I don't know all the details. There's a good chance that Pulev got screwed in that whole situation. You know, it's just one of those things, and that's why I don't really like talking about the negotiations. I think that it's stupid. As boxing fans, yeah, we should talk about the fact that these fighters are in negotiations, but then we start picking sides and saying who's ducking who and why this and why does the fight have to be in the US? Why does it have to be in the UK? And I'm not saying that it's never okay to bring up these things, but it seems like it's with every fight. Everybody wants to pick at every little detail, and it's pretty annoying. I just want to see these guys fight. Now, as it stands right now, there's a lot of talk about Deontay Wilder. Now, it is confirmed that he accepts the terms that Joshua has offered him. I think I saw somewhere where they said it was 37 million pounds, or it might have been dollars, but I believe I saw pounds. And if that's the case, well, congratulations, Deontay Wilder. I have to say you did the right thing by not accepting the $12.5 million, because whether it be $37 million or pounds, it's still a hell of a lot more money than you would have gotten if you would have taken the first offer. So any criticism that I had of Deontay Wilder for not taking that offer, I feel I have to retract. But that still doesn't change the fact that he said he would take 10%. So I don't apologize for that. But it is negotiations. You are worth whatever you can negotiate. All right. Now, I'm seeing a lot of channels talking about this fight as if it's a done deal. From what I've seen, it doesn't appear to be exactly a done deal, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get an official announcement soon. Because what it's beginning to look like is that if it is going to happen, it's going to happen in February, and Joshua's going to fight Povetkin in September. I don't have a problem with that. Of course, I would rather the fight be next, but I would much rather have this news about it being in February than these negotiations still dragging on and on and on. So if that's the case, so be it. At least the fight is happening in the foreseeable future. I hope I don't have a stroke and die before February 2019. That's just a joke. I'm only 32, so that probably most likely won't happen. Yes, I know it can, but chances are much lower at my age. But anyways, my thoughts on the fight. I'm already seeing that it's being posted that Joshua is the favorite as far as betting odds are concerned. I don't know exactly what the odds are. I'm not a betting man. I'm just saying what I noticed is that I'm already seeing as being put out there that the odds are in Joshua's favor. And I feel rightfully so. If I was a betting man, I probably would do like what Boxing Junkie does. Shout out to Boxing Junkie, and that is put $100 on the underdog, and if he wins, well, I'm not a Wilder fan, but I may become one after that. I think it's a very interesting fight, and I have to say I think it's a 50-50 with an edge to Joshua, and it's just because Joshua is more proven. Joshua, you can see, has more skill. Wilder, he doesn't have the skill. It's just not there. He's just not on Joshua's level as far as skill is concerned. However, although skills pay the bills, skills don't do a whole lot when you're laying down on the canvas. You can't get up. And that's really why it's a 50-50 fight. We seen what happened with Luis Ortiz. It was very apparent that Luis Ortiz was the more skilled fighter. But it's very hard to avoid that right hand for 12 rounds. And Wilder, he has a chin. I don't think it's as strong as some people make it out to be, but he definitely has a strong chin. If he can catch Joshua, he will win and he'll be undisputed. Now the good news is, if this fight does actually happen, history is going to be made, because it'll be the first time that an undisputed heavyweight champion is crowned in the United Kingdom. That is something to be excited about. It will be the first heavyweight champion that we've had since Lennox Lewis. That is also something to be excited about. I just hope that whoever wins that fight, should it happen, has a good title reign. Or I shouldn't say a good title reign. I just hope that they don't fight lower level opposition. I hope that they fight the best of the best, and may the best man win. If Anthony Joshua were to become undisputed and then lose to his next opponent, and that opponent is really just the baddest man in the planet, well then, good on Joshua. I mean, I don't want to see him lose, but it's about the best fighting the best, right? And if a man beats another man, that's the man who should have his hand raised, regardless if I like him or not. So I just really hope that the right fights are made in the heavyweight division. Tomorrow I plan on uploading a channel update. There are some things that I want to address to the community in regards to my channel, and also an announcement of a certain something that I want to start doing on a fairly regular basis. So please stay tuned for that. If you are into boxing content, which if you're not, I don't know why the hell you'd be listening to me, but if you are, I think this is something that everybody will be interested in. It's not a game changer, but it's a game changer for my channel. I like to keep things real. It's not going to be something that is going to be, crazy, no, it's never been done before, but it's going to be something that I think will help my channel. I think it'll be a good contribution to the YTVC. When I say that, I don't mean separation between YTVC and the LDVC. This includes them as well. When I say YTVC, I'm talking about the YouTube boxing community. If you're on YouTube and you talk boxing, you're in that community, regardless of what you want to label yourself. Especially if you're making money off of this website, you're definitely YTBC. But anyways, to all my subscribers, able to watch my videos, or just so happen to stump on this video. Oh yeah, one more thing. I know my last couple videos, I haven't done like my little mockumentaries and all that. It's been a bit tough. Starting tomorrow, I plan on getting back into that, putting more effort into the opening of my videos, but I'm just letting you know, that's why it's been that way. It's been a little bit tough. I haven't been able to upload as much as I wanted to this week, so just kind of catching up. But tomorrow we will have an intro. I think most people will like it. But anyways, you have a wonderful, blessed day. Peace.
Undefeated. Undefeated.